Our instrument of discipline is the whacker. The whacker. After they have been disciplined, they must ask for forgiveness. I'm sensing that everything's revolved around him and his way.
Alright, so how's it going, everybody? Today we're looking at another wife swap episode. Today we're looking at two pretty bad families. Alright, we're starting with the Bittners over here. They have a junk food only diet. That's all that really matters about them. And over here we have the Ramers, who beat their kids. And I'm not here to really debate about whether it's right or wrong to whoop your kids whenever they're being, you know, like little shits or whatever. But this family goes kind of overboard, man. You guys will see what I'm talking about inside of the video. They go as far as to scare their kids by leaving leather belts on the outside of their doors that they call whackers. And when the rules are eventually switched inside of the episode and the dad can no longer, you know, beat his kids, he actually loses his shit. Like, this guy has some crazy anger issues.
This week, the Rhymers, who like to keep a tight rein on their children by homeschooling them. When they misbehaved, they are spanked with a leather strap called the whacker.
I can't even imagine these kids being out of line, man. They look to me like the most polite kids of all goddamn time, dude. They have their shirts tucked in. They look like they're on Little House on the Prairie, man. Like, this looks like a really sweet family. So you look over at these mean-ass parents that they have. Like, there's a scene inside of this episode where the dad actually wanted to beat his children for being excited. No happiness allowed in this household, I guess.
When they misbehaved, they are spanked with a leather strap called the whacker.
This sounds like a new ride at fucking Six Flags, man. Not some shit that you should be using on your kid. And don't take this video as me saying that kids shouldn't be well behaved or that they shouldn't be, you know, like reprimanded if they do like some super outlandish bad shit or whatever. Like, everybody always takes these videos wrong. But I just want us all to unanimously agree here that if your kids are excited and happy, you shouldn't fucking beat them. That's just not how you respond to everything. So get out of the comments with your crazy hypotheticals on what if my kid burns down a church. Like, dude, that obviously that's different.
And the Bittners, a larger-than-life family who love to argue and only eat junk food.
They just had to say larger than life. They do this shit on purpose.
Vegetarian? Oh my god! They're a vegetarian?
Look at these fucking assholes being healthy. Losers, am I right?
I want to just shake her dad and say, do you not see her breasts?
What do you want them to do? Cut them shits off? You're acting like they're hanging out or some shit, man. She has on a tank top. It's really just not that deep.
And Cindy gets a taste of a structured, healthy lifestyle.
In her defense, what in the fuck is that green Nickelodeon slime in her cup? You guys couldn't start her off with a salad or some shit? Like, she has a junk food only diet, man. At least she was open to trying it.
All the rules are stopped. You have no control for 5 days. You have no control.
Bro, is he about to break down because he can't beat his kids anymore? This guy looks genuinely upset and flustered right now. It shouldn't be that goddamn difficult, man. His kids really cannot be that bad. Let's just be real.
It's chaos.
That's not chaos, bro. That's a cannonball. Hold on, man. Does he have his kids wearing life vests inside of the community kiddie pool? This isn't chaos, man. They're just having fun at the community kiddie pool. Like, how in the fuck can you be mad at that?
He's an overbearing, controlling butt.
But now you guys kind of get a feel for the episode and where both families stand. One family is just really unhealthy and honestly kind of spoils their kids a bit, but I mean, it could be worse. And the other family is just so overbearing. But let's really tackle this shit, all right? Let's get the episode started.
Children really do need boundaries, and I think that by setting boundaries when they're young, it equips you to better handle your boundaries when you're older.
I think kids definitely need boundaries, but they should be allowed to enjoy life. They should be allowed to experiment with making their own choices because, you know, they're people. If this family wants to discipline their kids when they fuck up, that's completely all them. But if you want to just straight up beat your kids anytime that you're angry over any little thing that they do, whether it's actually bad or not, then really just go fuck yourself, man. And the mom saying that any of this is going to help their kids in the future, I think it's just going to make your kids not want to communicate with you in the future. And they definitely won't know how to because you don't.
Husband, Lieutenant Paul Rhymers, served for 5 years in the U.S. Navy, so he knows all about giving orders.
I'm telling you, man, he hated that shit so much that he's just taking it out on them, dude. It's not their fault that you were inside of the Navy.
My family is loud, demanding.
The Bittners are raging carnivores who love fried food.
We have a good time.
I'm not here to get onto your life choices, or actually that's exactly what I'm here for. But honestly, what you guys want to do with your bodies is what you want to do. But I will go ahead and say that only eating this shit is not good for you whatsoever, and it will lead to so many problems. If the mom or dad or whatever just wanted to eat like that, that's completely fucking fine, dude. But you know, you probably shouldn't teach your kids to only eat junk food and only eat fucking candy and shit and fried foods.
I attempt to resolve conflict by trying to compromise.
What's up?
You mean, please don't shush me.
Please do not talk.
There needs to be a balance. It's always just these families are too much of one thing and not enough of the other. Like, dude, it's awesome that this guy doesn't like beat these kids or whatever, right? That's really cool, but that doesn't mean that you just let them fucking walk all over you.
A lot of laughs. I was screaming and hollering too.
I've watched this part back like 12 times and I have no clue what in the fuck she just said, bro. Is this gibberish? Can somebody transcript this?
Obviously, the way we raise our family is the way we think is right. Hi, guys. So I think to go into another situation and to actually have an impact by maybe changing something is an adventure.
You can be strict without being this goddamn strict. I just don't understand why these families either just let their kids fucking walk all over them and don't do anything about it, or they just torture their kids who never really do anything fucking wrong. There's just no in between.
This is a nice house. It's just very bare.
Ooh, at least it's warmer in here than it is out there. Ooh, check out the dogs. Hi, guys. Hi.
I swear she treats those dogs better than she treats her own kids, man. I mean, shit, dude, earlier inside of the episode, her and her husband were talking about their kids being obedient. She's not even talking to these dogs about being obedient. Isn't that some shit?
Oh my God, that's not all their kids, is it? You gotta be kidding me. That's 5 kids.
Well, I'm really glad that you can count and everything. Let's go ahead and see these rules.
Vegetarian? Oh my God! They're a vegetarian?
All I'm saying is it wouldn't hurt for her to try out some of their food, dude. I don't know. I mean, like, just 3 weeks of eating a little bit healthier, not bad for you, seriously. When you're laughing at the topic of somebody eating healthy, though, it should really show a clear problem, dude.
That's a vegetarian book.
What the fuck? The vegetarians use a vegetarian cookbook? No way.
I'm gonna die here, aren't I?
The irony of this statement is making my balls itch, man. Like, I really can't believe she said this shit. You're not gonna die eating healthy food. I feel like you should ask yourself that next time you go home. Am I going to die if I continue living this way? Don't ask yourself that when you're around vegetables.
There's going to be some changes in this family's lifestyle.
I'm telling you, man, the parents of the Ramers family are just so obsessed with being in control. Like, you haven't even met this family yet, and you're already ready to change everything about the way that they do things.
Our instrument of discipline is the whacker. The whacker. After they have been disciplined, they must ask for forgiveness.
What the fuck? Like, what do I even say to that, dude? This shit sounds like it was written by Hitler or something, bro. Like, this is actually insane. You gotta beat your kid's ass and then make them beg you to be forgiven after. It's crazy because she wrote this rule book fully intending for this random woman to come over and beat her children. Like, what the fuck? Bro.
And their siblings should follow through with forgiveness.
So are these motherfuckers, like, shunned? Jesus Christ, this is crazy. It's not even really like they can learn much from that other than, like, I don't know, like humiliation from being shunned and beaten.
Are they nuts?
I am the queen. I like to be pampered. Steve rubs my feet, gives me massages, and tucks me in bed every night.
Paul is the head of the household, and what he says is final.
Did she write this shit expecting for this woman to be obedient to her husband? Dude, does she not understand how it works to be a fully grown adult? Nobody can, like, tell her what to do. Your husband isn't the king of the fucking universe. It really just sounds like he's a control freak at this point.
That is not gonna work. This is more like a military church with a bunch of vegetarians in it.
I think she's trying to say that this family sounds like a weird fucking cult, which, I mean, they do, and they kind of look like a cult too if you think about it. But now that they've read through the rules, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where they end up meeting the families, alright? Because I want to try to get through this entire video tonight. I don't really want to end up doing a part 2.
The kids are great. He was very nice. I'm sensing that everything's revolved around him and his way.
It 100% is, dude. This guy wants to, like, rule the entire world, and since that'll never fucking happen, he has to, you know, get the next best thing, which is controlling everybody's lives around him. I'm just glad that she's noticing this shit really quickly.
I look at their lifestyle, and it seems very relaxed compared to ours.
All right, you don't understand. Come here, Bash.
And there's a lot of non-accounted for activities, you know, where they're just sitting around watching TV.
I feel like that should be normal. I'm not saying that they should never have chores to do or anything, but it should be fine to relax every now and again. That shouldn't be like a problem. Fun should definitely be allowed here and there. Your childhood shouldn't revolve around your dad.
Excuse.
Yes, ma'am.
You gotta love how he rattles it around for a second. You can never really be too sure on if your daughter's allowed to go back to her room after dinner or not. That's 100% something that you totally need full control of at all times. Not joking at all.
Yes.
Joe?
Yes, Jordan.
I didn't really think people were like this. Very controlling. The kids are treated like robots, I think. I don't like it.
They aren't treated like robots or computers or anything. They just only respond when they're told to, and only do literally anything when they have the permission to. I mean, you know, nothing wrong with that. And, you know, they're beaten if they try to have fun or anything. Like, what the fuck?
It's Saturday morning, day 2 of the swap, and the wives are trying to settle into each other's routines. For Melissa, that involves cooking her first ever fried breakfast.
You know what, man? I'll give her some props. For somebody so usually stuck up, I gotta commend her for doing the job of the other mother without complaining about it. But maybe she's just used to being controlled and being obedient. I don't know.
This is really killing me. Normally I consider myself a pretty good cook, and I feel totally out of my element here.
I don't know if it's just because my laptop's kind of shit and I'm watching this in super low quality, but like, what in the fuck is in that pan? Is that like macaroni and cheese or something? Why is it burning? I'm confused.
Cindy always has a coffee with cream and sugar with her breakfast, but under Melissa's rules, it's a pungent barley health drink.
There's a first time for everything.
I'm sorry, but that looks like fucking vomit, man. You couldn't pay me to drink that shit. I don't understand why you can't just start your day off with, like, I don't know, anything fucking else, man. Like, it actually looks like you're drinking fucking lawnmower juice, bro. This shit is fucking disgusting. You could have started the day off with a different healthy drink.
Does she drink the whole glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not about to happen. You guys are lucky that you even got a sip out of her. But on the topic of the mother from the Raymer family, this mother's way of disciplining children that aren't even hers, dude. Like, she gets so pissed at these kids having any free reign with their own lives when it comes to what they wear or what they do. She's just not used to kids not being controlled. So, yeah, let's show this shit, man. She even, like, grabbed one of the daughter's faces because she wasn't looking her inside of the eyes.
It's 11 o'clock and Melissa is doing the chores, which she would never do at her home as they are done by her children when they wake up.
Damn, she never does any of it herself, like at all? Give your kids chores, man. Teach them some structure. They need to learn how to do shit. Like, for example, they should obviously clean their bathroom so that when they're an adult, they know how to fucking do that shit. But, you know, they shouldn't be cleaning every bathroom inside of the house. They shouldn't be goddamn scrubbing every tile of the house. They shouldn't be repainting the goddamn walls. There's just some chores that parents need to do too.
Next, the wives make their changes. Melissa lays down the law.
She's not my mother. She is not going to ground me.
If it were really up to her and these cameras weren't here, there would be a lot worse than grounding going on. But let's go ahead and see these rules.
He is the controller. Women are beneath him. I've dealt with it for 5 days. I'm not going to deal with it no more. Now it's my turn.
I'm actually so excited to see her role changes. A part of me is also kind of afraid though, because obviously after all this shit is over, this dad's going to be pissed when the cameras are gone over the fact that his kids got to, you know, not have rules. Because I mean, she's obviously going to make shit a lot easier for them, and I feel like that's really going to fucking destroy that guy, not being able to have that control. And obviously after this show's done filming, he's just going to get all that power back, dude. I mean, he really has to make the choice to actually, you know, apply anything.
I'd like to make a couple statements to you, Paul.
Okay.
Your children need to be children. They need less discipline and punishment and more freedom and fun. This is not a military regime.
Just because you were in the Navy doesn't mean that your children are. They deserve to be kids. It's crazy that this shit is actually like a shock to this guy. He's never, you know, tried the normal approach.
The changes that we're going to make is all the rules have stopped. All the household rules have stopped for 5 days. I also have enrolled all of you in a regular school for 3 days, just to see what it's like to go to school.
You gotta love how happy they look, man. Like they're actually excited for something. They actually get to enjoy life for just a tiny little bit. Just these couple of days, but shit is something. More than they would have gotten from their mom or dad, that's for goddamn sure.
To socialize, there's more to school than just textbooks.
Honestly, so far this episode, I've agreed with this lady on everything other than, you know, her entire junk food thing. Her kids need to eat way more than junk food. They need actual food. But she's 100% right on the fact that school is way more than just textbooks. Sure, these kids will learn what they need to learn, but they need to actually socialize. And I'm not saying that nobody that's homeschooled socializes. So you don't really need to get in the comments and say your personal experience. But it definitely doesn't take Einstein to see that these kids aren't socializing with anybody outside of their fucking family whatsoever. These kids need school just for a bit.
Blake, my dear, I would like you to be dressed appropriately, okay? And your father is a judge of that.
If need be, I definitely have some things of my own that I can,
Hey, wearing your clothes, I'd rather vote.
Excuse me?
That's her fucking stepdad. I wouldn't want to wear his clothes either, dude. Like, who even is this guy if you think about it? But I personally don't think that she's really worn anything revealing this episode at all. Like, it could be 10 times worse. I feel like nowadays people wear, like, some actual revealing shit. Like, what do you want her to do, bro? She's fully covered up. Do you want her to, like, put on a fucking parka?
There is no more whacker. The whacker's gone. So you won't be threatened with this? We got rid of this.
Well, just keep in mind, Cindy, you know, I still retain the option to end this whole thing.
You have no control for 5 days. You have no control. It's gone.
That's fucking insane. This dude found out that he can't beat his kids for a couple of days, and he just literally threatened to end the entire program. Are you fucking serious? You haven't even tried it out yet, dude. And by the way, his kids are well behaved as fuck, man. You guys have been watching the same episode that I have been, man. These kids aren't like outlandish at all. This guy's just on a crazy power trip, man. There's something like actually wrong with this guy, and he just shouldn't have had kids.
I have one more surprise. Satellite. You have over 115 channels, good channels.
If you look real close, you can almost see the soul leaving the dad's body hearing that shit, man. Just knowing that his kids are happy is really crushing him. But I want to see how these kids end up doing at school, man. That's like what I'm most curious about, because I was actually reading about this episode before, and I saw that this guy was actually fucking pissed that he couldn't beat his kids over being excited about their first day.
Yeah, one last thing. I believe that the right name to call me now would be Miss Melissa.
You're only at their house because of a TV show, dude. Nobody has to call you any special titles.
After the world changes, the kids were into everything. It was like something was lifted off of them.
I feel like that was another really important clip to show you guys real quick, man. That's just so fucking awesome to see these kids actually being able to be kids for just a little bit. They don't gotta live in fear of their dad right now, dude. Like, you can't do anything to them. They can just actually enjoy themselves. They don't have to fucking drink a bunch of gross-ass green stuff.
They're so good.
It looked like the kids were cut loose in the candy store. I felt kind of bad for my children that they didn't exhibit some self-control.
Dude, let them have fun. This is like the one time in their life that they will ever be able to do this, because after this, they grow up, they move out, they have to deal with everything that you did for like forever. Let them enjoy this fucking few days. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the school segment now because it's getting super late.
It's a momentous day for the Reimers children. For the first time in their lives, they are going to a regular school and will be taught by someone other than their mom.
It kind of sucks that they weren't even like slightly given a choice, you know? Like, how do they expect their kids to ever go out into the world and meet anybody? How did these parents even meet each other? If they met from school, then they can really go fuck themselves. Seriously, they can go fuck themselves. Let your kids be kids. Let them decide at least some of their own choices, man. They should decide whether or not they get to, you know, socialize.
Paul is annoyed and has pulled the van off the freeway to take action.
I gotta give a big thank you to my dad for never doing this shit, because I don't know, kids get excited. It's actually insane that his kids were coming home from their first day of school ever and were excited and being a bit noisy, so he pulled the car off the road and wanted to threaten them with being beaten by the whacker. It's like this guy hasn't learned fucking anything, dude. I genuinely feel like his kids being happy makes him like angry, dude. I don't know what this guy went through as a kid, but this guy shouldn't have had kids.
There is a difficult situation because with the suspension of a number of rules that we have in our family, they're intended to prevent an escalation into a situation like that. Under our own family rules, they should obey me, or there's the whacker.
They should obey me, or there's the whacker. Alright, well, I really hope you guys ended up enjoying today's video. That was sure something. I know not everybody's going to have the exact same opinion as me, but personally, I think that these parents are pretty overboard. I don't know, and I'm glad that these kids got to be kids for like at least a day. Leave it to the dad, though, to try and find a way to ruin it. I can't really say all too much more because these videos take forever to render with my shitty laptop, so really hope I'm able to still get this out tonight. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the very end, be sure to comment on the video saying wife swap, and I'll heart your comment, and I'll make more videos just like this one. Hopefully the next one doesn't have such a fucking terrible family, man. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.